3 hours and a pretty sorry showing from the home team.
Yeah, so this is in the Telegraph, and the new SATs results have come out saying that... Well, they've actually split this into two stories, but essentially in primary school, 58% of English native speakers have met the overall expected standard after lockdowns.
OK.
So there's a few things
many.
that... No, it isn't many. And what's interesting is whereas with GCSEs and A-levels, they kind of changed the results to fit what happened, they actually kept the same tests.
Okay.
So there's been a big decline. And there's really two stories here. The story they're leading with is that actually people whose English is their second language have done better than native English speakers for the first time.
On quite language-specific tasks?
No, in maths, reading and writing.
Well, those are... I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, than that. But also... For me, the bigger story, as big a story, is the fact that there's been this big decline because, of course, schools were closed for 2 years.
And so is the implication that children for whom English is a second language live in families who are more ambitious for their education?
Absolutely, yeah. And they're saying so. Indian people, Indian descent and people Chinese descent have done like the best. Like, I think 74% achieved it with people with Indian parents.
Wow.
And then Chinese was 70%, and that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's an aspirational.
Yeah, they don't just take it for granted that their kids can speak English.
But I just wanted to say that I got a 9-year-old. And, for me, homeschooling 3 kids over that time, the 9-year-old is the one who suffered the most because it was that crucial couple of years. He was 7, 8, his spelling's still behind, and it's so hard to be up on it. And I'm genuinely scared that he's going to carry that disadvantage forward for the rest of his life.
It's hugely stressful homeschooling kids if you're not used to it. If you take it on as a thing that you want to do for whatever reason, then you're well adapted to it. But
No, what I was going to say was that I mean, it doesn't surprise me about these kids who've got 2 languages. I mean, they're clever kids.
And they regard learning English as a lesson.
As a lesson. I mean, they do it and they get on with it and they're clever. A couple of things I thought. One was that I am absolutely still staggered by people talking about the ambition of immigrant families. I mean, some of these people, have been here for 9, 10 generations. I mean, how long do you have to be here before you're not a blow-in?
Their children are saying their English is a second language.
Yes, it may well be.
That their parents are first-generation immigrants.
It doesn't say that.
Well, it must be. Otherwise, if they've been here for 8 or 9 generations and they're not speaking English, that would be a bit...
There are still...
My Yiddish is not so...
There are still families. But my main point was going to be, was that if you look, there's another test that the Office of National Statistics do, which is called the Attainment 8, and it divides it by the ethnic categories, and then it divides it in turn. You can also look at it by free school meals.
Yeah.
So if you look at the attainment and then you look at what you could call the poverty penalty, the poverty penalty for being poor and black in that respect is round about 15%. When I say black, I mean that's the ethnic category they use in the census. If you're white and on free school meals, it's 30%, which re-emphasises yet again that actually if you're poor and white, there's a serious problem. And that is to do with culture. It's not to do with being white. It's to do with the culture in which those kids from years and generations of unemployment have grown up in.
Yeah, I agree. That is something that we really do need to engage with, I think.